Welcome to this demo on Admin and Asset module of EazeWork HRMS. This module is a part of the operations stack of the product suite. In this demo, we'll be covering the following points. We'll discuss various type of assets which can be managed through the asset module, the process of raising an asset requisition, the asset register in which asset details can be maintained by the IT manager or the office manager, how to allocate the asset to the employee, how can an employee return the asset back to the company, and finally the report section. There are two types of assets which can be modeled in the system. Returnable assets are assets like laptops, mobile phones, data card, which need to be given back to the company, either when you're leaving the company or if the asset has to be taken back for any other reason. Non-returnable assets are assets which do not need to be returned back, like visiting cards, stationery. These are consumables which will be issued to the employees based on the requirement. And as an employee, you do not need to return them back. The asset module can be accessed by the left-hand side menu. Click on the Admin and Asset button. Open the home page. As an employee, you'll be able to see the list of your assets which have been currently allocated to you. So as per this, there is no returnable asset allocated to this employee, and a notepad has been issued. To request a new asset, you can use the shortcut Quick Access menu. Click the Asset Request link. The new asset request page will open up. You can select the asset category, provide the remarks which will justify why you're requiring this asset, and click on Submit. The asset request will be submitted. It will go for approval to your manager or department head as per the company policy. And once it is approved, it will go to the IT manager for allocation. You can withdraw this request till it has not been approved if you want to do so. Asset register can be maintained either by the IT manager or by the office manager for the respective asset categories which are assigned to each of them. To manage the asset register, click on the admin asset menu, click on the register page. Here you can see a drop down which shows you the asset categories which are assigned to you. In this case, this person has an IT manager role. If you select laptop as an asset category, you'll get to see a list of all the laptops which have been updated in the register. Each laptop has a certain status. As you can see, available, this means that the asset is available with the IT manager. Allocation mark, this means that the asset has been mapped to an employee, but employee has not yet accepted the asset. Allocated, this means that the asset has been accepted by the employee, and disposed, which means that the asset has been disposed. If we want to see the further details for an asset, we can just click on edit. This shows us the details which are created when the asset is updated. You have an acquisition date, the date on which the asset was purchased, an asset code. You can update the cost. You can also update the location to which this asset is mapped. If you want to limit the allocation of an asset to within a location, that also can be enabled. You can update the maintenance due date, a brief description of an asset, any remarks you want to capture. You can also upload asset documents like invoice, warranty, any other supporting documents. And at the bottom of the page, you can see the asset allocation history. This shows to whom this asset was allocated from and for what period. To create a new asset, click on the quick access menu, click on create new asset. You'll see the create new asset page where you can fill up the details and create a new asset. Or you can click on the second tab, asset bulk upload. You can download the template which you can fill up and upload it to create assets in bulk. This process should be used if you have multiple assets to create and you do not want to go through the process of creating asset one by one using the form. If you have a asset which is available but it is not working, or for whatever reason you do not want to assign it to employees, you can update its status. Click on update status. You can make it unavailable, which means that the asset is temporarily unavailable, or you can update it as disposed, which means the asset will not be in inventory, it has been junked. Through this process you can remove the assets from the asset register. After the asset request has been approved, it will come to IT manager or office manager for allocation. You just need to click on the allocate page. You will see a list of requests which are pending for allocation. In some cases, there might also be an asset allocation request for employees which have not yet joined the company. This is only for your information. You do not need to allocate the asset. You can only plan for the assets so that they're ready when the employee joins the company. As you can see, there are some requests for laptops. You just pick up the first one. You can either type the asset description or you can use a drop down. Either way, you can map an asset which is available and click on approve. This will send an asset acceptance request to the employee to whom the asset has been allocated. This completes the asset allocation process. After the asset is allocated to the employee will get a notification on the dashboard, and it will also be available as a pending task. To accept the asset which has been allocated to you, you can just click on the notification, or you can go to the admin module homepage, go to the second tab, asset requests, and here you will see the asset which has been allocated to you. Click on the drop down and click on accept. This means that you're accepting the allocation. If you check the first tab, the asset is now mapped to you. You might need to return the asset back to the IT manager if the asset is not working, or if the asset is to be replaced, or if you are leaving the company. To return the asset, just click on the return button. You will be asked for remarks. Click on yes. An asset return request will be submitted to your IT. Please remember, if you do not return the asset, the cost of the asset might be recovered in your funnel final. The reports of the asset module can be accessed from the reports menu. Click on asset tab. As you can see, there are 4 reports. In the first report, you'll be able to see the asset requests which have been raised in the system. You can filter it by returnable or non-returnable. In the second report, you can see a list of assets which have been allocated to employees. In the third report, you'll get a list of assets which are owned by the company. So this is a view of the asset register. It has a summary option and a detailed option. If you look at the summary option, it gives you a summary of returnable assets which are in inventory, which have been issued, what is the net available, and assets which have been made unavailable or disposed. Similarly, you have a summary of non-returnable assets, the asset which has and the quantity which is purchased and the quantity which is available. If you go to the detailed view, you can go by asset category. You will get to see for each asset what is the current status in terms of if it has been assigned, to whom it has been assigned, and by whom it has been assigned. So you can see the assets which have been assigned, their update is allocated. You can review the status from here. The final report is pending asset requests. This will give you a summary of asset requests which are pending at various stages: pending for approval, pending for acceptance by the employee, return request pending with the IT manager, similarly return request pending with office manager, asset request pending for allocation by IT manager or by office manager. You can see one asset request is pending for IT manager acceptance. This completes the asset demo. Thanks for watching.